in order to keep peace and harmony to the people of the world. 大教馬來西亞佛教所傳教會，今日同大家嘅多謝，在本次內容上面。
To make this gift without a mark of self, without a mark of others, without a mark of living beings, and without a mark of a life. He made this gift from the bottom of his heart for everybody in the world and everybody here. And it's my wish that everybody here takes advantage of this offering and makes wise use of it.
I would now like to ask our Master Hung Chao to say a few words.
Admit our faults and try to change them, and the world would be better by a little bit. That world peace begins with peace of mind. And happiness for all living beings begins with happiness in your own heart. And so on this trip, we used a mantra, and as far as I know, it's the first English Western mantra. And the essence of the mantra is that at the very least, we never could get angry. No matter what situation came up, it was not okay to get angry. And so the mantra runs like this. Patience, patience. Gotta have patience. Don't get angry, swopa. It works. And this simple mantra, we feel, is what Buddhism is all about throughout the world. Just no anger, being one with everyone. So I'll say it once more, so whenever you feel the anger rise, you can use it. It says, patience, patience. Gotta have patience. Don't get angry, swopa.
刚才这位恒潮法师是恒石法师的护法，他们两位行着三不一拜，所有佛教徒的护法，他们两位行着所有佛教徒的护法，他们两位行着刚刚。
I hope that all of you will be very, very sincere and listen very carefully to his words. He normally never speaks to anyone. For the last 2.5 years, he has not spoken during his bowing pilgrimage. He's arisen every day at 3:30 in the morning and worked hard all day, single-mindedly, reciting and bowing, and meditated late into the night every night until 12 o'clock. He's maintained the practice of never lying down. He's also maintained the practice of eating one bowl of food a day, in addition to not speaking throughout the entire bowing pilgrimage. He's done this for the purpose of single-mindedly concentrating his mind with one single thought of peace and happiness for all living beings. And so what he has to say today is very, very rare, and I hope all of you will pay very close attention to it. We 现在请我们3步一拜修行人恒石法师讲几句话。他讲的时候，我们要预先准备我们的心。为什么？因为他所做的是我们所有众生不能做的事，他所忍是平常人不能忍的事情。他的骨干。Also, would Wojun, Apostolic Wojun, Hector Wong, Apostolic Hector Wong, please come to the platform.
When we bowed to the gate at, this is last week, my feeling was one of deep shame, because I realized how hard everyone here had been working to make the dream of the city of 10,000 Buddhists come true. And I thought of how lazy I had been, and how insincere and how untrue I had been. All the days of San Luis Bai. And although I'm standing here talking to you all, every single one of the Venerable Abbot's disciples here, those who have left the home life and those who are still at home, all the cultivators here at the city of 10,000 Buddhists work twice as hard, 3 times as hard, and are 10,000 times as hard, as sincere as I was on San Luis Bai. And we all follow the Venerable Abbot's example in this way. He never rests. He has no thoughts of self. And I can't say the same for myself. But, as I say, although I'm standing here talking to you now, it's every one of the Venerable Abbot's disciples who have earned this position, who should be standing here talking to you now, talking in my place. And I really feel happy to be part of this city. All I can offer is 2 hands to work and another mouth to feed. That was my feeling as I came through the gate. Oh, here's another mouth to feed. I'm going to have to really get going and start to work hard to earn the food that I eat every day. Because everybody here works from morning to night. Everybody here holds vows. Everybody here is mindful of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We're all part of one Sri Bodhisattva's great compassion heart. So that's the message of the city of 10,000 Buddhists, is that everyone is the same. Everyone is going to become a Buddha. And the other thing that I felt, and I felt it today as well, was that I haven't begun to take the first step to repay the kindness of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, to repay the kindness of my teacher, to repay the kindness of my parents and elders. Their kindness to me has been boundless and infinite. It's as tall as the mountains and as deep as the ocean. And I hope that just by being true, by really being mindful and cultivating the way with a single thought, with a single heart, that I might be able to pay back this debt of kindness. And I still owe a huge debt, and I'm going to work hard. That's enough about me. I wanted to say, sing one more thing to you all, and I hope everybody will join me. It's called the city of 10,000 Buddhas. It's called the city of 10,000 Buddhas. It started with a vow to bring enlightenment to every living thing. From the man who brought the Buddha and the Dharma and the Sangha to America to build a new foundation. It's called the city of 10,000 Buddhas. It's called the city of 10,000 Buddhas. Everybody sing, you know. Instilling virtue in the children, filiality is number 1. They will vow to get enlightened, to repay their parents' kindness, and repay the great compassion of the Buddha. It's called the city of 10,000 Buddhas. It's called the city of 10,000 Buddhas. Making Buddhas bodhisattvas, sages from the likes of you and me. It's a place for cultivation, it's a place for transformation of the common man to bodhisattva, the common.
The objects of our desires, the more pain we bring upon ourselves. And so we have the Buddha coming into the world to teach living beings a way to get rid of suffering by learning how to control their minds, how to get rid of the source of suffering, get rid of their greed, hate, and stupidity. 现在可以说一天比一天科学能发大，不过一天比一天我们人的精神就衰败，这个世界一天比一天缩小。在这个世界，所以有我们释迦牟尼佛来到这个娑婆世界，教化我们怎么样可以离苦得乐。这是要把我们每个人心里头的贪心、嗔心、痴心放下，要求戒、求定、求慧。
里面有一句话：儒教修行，在得佛法，非但口言而得清净。那么还不到2个礼拜以前，我和洪潮一起拜过去我们万佛城大门那儿。我心里有一个思想，怎么样呢？就是我回光返照，就想一想我过去2年半的时间怎么样过去。那么我那个时候觉得非常非常惭愧，因为我认为有我，可以说今天有我在这儿对你们各位讲。可是呢，万佛城我拉鞋没有的那不一样。
师父，诸位法师，诸位贵宾，诸位教友，也可以说是贵宾呢都是教友啊。我呀，实实在在是。
你说，还有Buddha Mother，还有Buddha Center，一活动还有Buddha Mother，还有Buddha Center。
I feel I'm really not qualified to be part of this very auspicious program, except that as a non-Buddhist here to celebrate this wonderful opening, perhaps instead of speaking as one mother, I could speak for the parents of all the left-home persons. In the few days I've been here, I've absorbed a little of the atmosphere, I believe, and the total dedication, the devotion, and the loyalty of all of the monks and nuns and lay persons who give so much time and total energy. And this is the fruition of all of their labors to have this historic occasion. I've also had a small sample of the wisdom of the Master who was responsible for all of it, and now I understand what it's all about. So I just wish that I were the age of the very smallest child here, so that I could come back many years to see this exciting place develop. Thank you.
因为是当时法师的妈妈从千里而来的美国中国人。
你们谁要对我不好，回家骂我，想要打我，他们会一口把你们吃了。
It's said that the
一个 上火，所以我不可以用了给我。
Dharma, I'm sure the master's favorite tiger disciple. She's really fierce. So any one of you who wants to bully the master, you might just get eaten by her in one go. It said that the Buddha Dharma is also the Dharma of living beings, and also the Dharma of the mind. Now I think there are many kinds of people here, but they fall really into two categories. Those who know the Buddha Dharma, and those who are just being introduced to the Buddha Dharma. Now, the Buddha Dharma as the Dharma for living beings has two important things to say. The first is to be filial to your parents. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are. You should always remember that. The second is to follow the rules. The rules are not to kill, not to steal, not to commit sexual misconduct, not to lie, and not to take intoxicants and drugs. In this way, you make yourself a pure vehicle, so that you can take the second two parts, the mind, the Dharma of the mind, and the Buddha Dharma, and take them in. If your body is pure, and you've been good to your parents, then you can quiet your mind. And if you can quiet your mind, then you can absorb the principles of the Buddha Dharma. Now I said we fall into two categories. Those who know the Buddha Dharma very well, and those who are just being introduced. But if all of us can be one in this way, that we always have the energy to act as if we just met the most exciting thing in our life, no matter how long we know the Buddha Dharma, then it will surely prosper all over the world. 可以说佛法就是忠诚法，就是心法。我觉得今天虽然我们有那么多人，我们不能看两种，一个是很久认识佛教，一个是刚刚现在有要佛教。说忠诚法，两个最重要的，第一个是要孝顺父母。你给他那么多烟干什么？他怎么抽的那么多煙？因為佛咧唔係煙筒如果你要供獻佛咧，其實如果嗰個香爐上面已經有3支香，已經好足夠㗎啦，唔好咧爭支咁厚嚟燒香，你應該燒你嘅心香，唔係話爭住頭先咧呢個壇咧直情着咗火嘅，有1、2次。咁樣太不公平了。就着火不着火，不可以的。我这儿没有这个规矩，我的规矩是不可以上这个上香的。唔可以上出嚟上香啊！呢個太迷信，亦都係太貪心啦。應該點上你嘅心香，而且這種嘅行為太卑鄙下流了。應該咧係要供應呢個清淨嘅道場，希望你遵守規矩。同埋咧，譬如其他貴賓講嘅嘢時候，雖然你自己係或者聽唔到佢講嘅嘢，唔好一時就咁講嘢，因為你既然嚟到呢度係咁難得有機緣咧，唔好浪費你嘅時間亦都唔好妨礙其他嘅人咧嚟吸收佛法。我們這是新開的佛教，和其他的佛教道場完全不同的。你其他的嘛，你迷信，他沒有人懂，可以的。我們這不許可迷信的。呢個係喺美國新開始嘅佛教係我哋係行持正法嘅，同埋咧一般流費嘅佛教道場係有啲唔同嘅。喺嗰度如果你馬馬虎虎或者唔守規矩或者食煙咧，冇人管你。但係呢度咧，我哋絕對唔可以再咁樣習呢啲咁嘅流費嘅習俗希望大家注意。你如果這樣的不到這不守規矩，我絕對不歡迎你，不要來。如果唔守規矩咧，我哋係唔可以嘅。無君無老無少無佛無法無僧的，你到底是上什麼香啊？你上那個香也一樣下地獄的。心裏邊冇佛冇法冇僧又冇父又冇尊呢種人根本係好卑鄙下流嘅。你上咩香都係會墮落嘅。無論你哪一個不遵守我的規矩，我就
就要纠正你们啊！你骂我什么都好，你拿把刀来杀我，我都不在乎，我一样不准你们犯我的规矩。
你哋邊個嚟到萬佛城，一定要守呢個規矩嚇。無論咧，你就算要鬧我哋嘅上人又好，或者你用把刀要殺佢都好，如果你唔守規矩，你一律都係唔歡迎嘅。
啊，你要知道萬佛城呢是一個正法住世的地方，絕對不許可人迷信的。你想要修佛法，一定要守這個規矩。你不守規矩，你就是地獄。
萬佛城係一個正法住世嘅地方啊！如果你係要嚟迷信咧，你呢個唔得嘅。咁如果你唔守規矩咧，無論你點樣啊，你唔可以喺呢個地方，我哋唔歡迎你，因為咧你已經係一個地獄嘅道士，唔係真正嘅佛。
你說哪有信佛的人去上香來罵和尚的？這叫什麼佛教？這要不是畜生，不是地獄種子，它是個什麼？
你哋聽過一個好嘅佛教徒啊，上香嘅時候啊會鬧和尚嚟嘅，聽過未嘅？如果呢種咁嘅唔係地獄嘅種子，咩係叫佛教徒？
他這在佛教裡就是造業的嘛，在這。
即刻就犯口業啦！
Today there were some people who came here and didn't follow the rules. And this is some instructions from the Venerable High Master about the rules of Buddhism. Why? Because this is a new Buddhism in America. Buddhism in Asia, for a long time, has become very, very superstitious, with people performing all kinds of practices which are useless. They make offerings to the Buddha thinking that they will go to heaven, when in fact they're going straight to hell because of their superstition. And so in the future, all of these things have to change. Because here in America, this is a new country for Buddhism, and Buddhism is going to be new here. The very, very fundamental basic rules of the city of 10,000 Buddhists are that no one is to come here and smoke cigarettes, and no one is to come here and drink. This is basic. After that, everyone should follow along with the ceremonies as they're conducted. Today, half of the people ran out of the Buddha hall, scrambling over to the kitchen to stuff their mouths full of food, while the High Master... They're all hungry ghosts, that's all you are. They all ran over to the kitchen to stuff their mouths full of food, while the meal offering had barely started. After you haven't even bowed to the Buddha, what kind of food are you going to eat? This is putting the cart before the horse. It doesn't matter who you are, you can't do it this way. First the offering has to be made, after the offering is made, then you can go and eat. There's absolutely no place in the world where you can find the principle of first eat and then bow to the Buddhas. This is being disrespectful to the Buddhas, disrespectful to the Bodhisattvas, and terribly disrespectful to all the High Masters here. And so in the future, this will not happen. And so the Master has So the Master today has not had a morsel of food, and he just said that from now on, to commemorate this day, on the 15th day of the 9th lunar month, he will fast every year from now on, in commemoration of you people who ran out of the Buddha hall, stuffed your mouths full of food without paying your respect to the Buddha. From now on, people like this, it doesn't matter who you are. If you don't want to follow these rules, the rules that the Master has laid down for new Buddhism in America, where people do things according to the Dharma, the way they should be done, with respect and reverence for each other, so the world can be peaceful and happy. If you don't want to follow these rules, don't come. That's the way it is. If you don't want to follow these rules, don't come. It's okay not to have any people, but there can't be any Dharma. The Master has come here to America to establish the proper Dharma in the West, where everything is done according to the way it should be done, and is not done according to the rules of superstition, the way some people have set them up in Asia. Today a person came in and lit some incense, and the incense was already lit a great deal, and with all kinds of incense already burning in here. The Master asked him not to light so much incense, and what did he do? He scolded the Master right in front of the Buddha. Where in the world do you have a place where there's Buddhism where a lay person can come in, light a stick of incense, and start scolding Buddha? Is that what you do? You light incense and then scold the monk, scold the Sangha, and scold the Buddha? This is not the way it's done. So people like this in the future will certainly not be welcome to the city of 10,000 Buddhas. We're doing this so the world will be a peaceful place, so the world will be a happy place, so people will understand the rules, and so they can change their mind to move towards the good, so they can help themselves and help others. And we must establish the rules that way so Buddhism can be of some benefit in this country. If we don't do it, if we don't establish the proper rules, then what are we doing here? It's all totally useless. And Buddhism will be of no benefit to this new country. And so in the future, when all of you come to the city of 10,000 Buddhas, we hope you will follow and practice the rules. They're not very difficult. Just don't smoke and don't drink. And don't run off and stuff yourself before it's time.
我们这大家吃饭的时候一起吃，不可以先后的。尤其等僧人没有吃饭，你们在那地方坐那个地方吃饭，那能吃得下去吗？
Here we all eat together. This is one of the basic rules of the Buddha. Everybody in the assembly, no matter whether the person is high or low, we all eat together. And if one person isn't full, it can be considered that the whole assembly hasn't yet eaten its fill. Everybody is equal in this regard. So how can people first run off and start feeding themselves before even the Sangha has sat down to eat? How can you possibly swallow anything?
你到什么地方，你吃东西，你都让人家这个主人呢，先要知道，要许可你吃，你才吃。你自己偷偷跑在那儿偷着吃东西，这叫个什么？我们这不是一个随随便便的地方，我们这一定要守规矩。不守规矩，任何人你就有多少钱，我也不欢迎你。
Now you think about it, any place else in the world, regardless of what kind of organization it is, what kind of ceremony it is, first the host sits down. Is that not right? First the host will sit down and eat. If the host doesn't permit you to sit down and eat, then you just don't sit down and eat. Where in the world is
那就是来抢着吃。
what is this called? This is called just coming here and stealing. You run off to the kitchen and start stuffing yourself before it's time. Before the host is even invited you to sit down and take your meal. The host invites the guests to eat. The guests don't run off and steal the food. So in the future, people who don't want to follow the rules are not welcome to the city of 10,000 Buddhas. People who don't want to follow the rules that are laid down by the master are not welcome here. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you want to offer. If you don't want to follow the rules, don't come.
我不要的。
The master doesn't want this kind of
我
money.
从来也不看不起有钱的人，告诉你。
And very, very frankly, from the beginning of this whole thing, from the beginning of the time the master propagated the Buddha Dharma, he's always been looked down on people who have a lot of money.
有多少钱就有多少罪。
Because no matter how much money you have, you've got about that many offenses.
上供嘅時候啊，中間嘅時候咧，好實例。其實如果喺佛教裏邊講，我哋真係好丟架、好丟架嘅。點解咧？邊個係佛教徒嘅人咧，都應該明白。你喺食飯之前，未俾僧人食飯，你自己去到廚房將自己塞飽個肚咧，呢個完全唔合法。好似唔好講緊佛堂裏邊，你去主人家，人請你食飯，你都要個主人請你上床飯先。冇話你邊個主人請你嘅通知自己就走去廚房咧，將自己塞飽咗。今次咧，似一班餓鬼，係咪？你話講得係咪咁樣？而家咧，未供佛菩薩。
你不高興，我也要這麼說。
你哋唔高興咧，都要咁講㗎，因為呢啲係真實嘅。
什麼？
Because you will very happily accept anybody's scolding.
只要你不怕你那個舌頭將來做跋涉地獄，隨便罵我歡迎的。
If you're not afraid of having your tongue fall into unspaced hell, then the master welcomes any of you who wish to scold him to go ahead and scold him.
絕對不生氣的。
He certainly won't get angry at you.
咁食飯咧，如果未經過主人同意就去食咧，直情係嚟偷人搶嘅。大家應該係尊重美德啊，唔可以咁樣做嘅。 咁而家咧，或者在座好多人好唔滿意啦，咁我哋上嚟話咧，歡迎你鬧，你點鬧咧都唔緊要嘅。如果你唔怕你啊，第日咧知道佢又罰你哋嘅地獄啊，即係你條命即係俾個地獄奸佢出嚟，你罵咩都唔嚇，罵法罵親咧都唔緊要嘅。咁你亦都唔好以為係自己有好多錢咧嚇，人哋就要及時招呼你，因為啊，我哋一向嘅家風係咧，追睇你有錢人。